Circling the drain.
Circling the drain. Here we go. Welcome to BS session 133. Is FUD a bad word? I mean, it is an F word. Technically, that's a bad word. But if FUDs didn't act like FUDs, I wouldn't have to keep calling them the F word.
Because I have a shotgun and rifle that I use for, and 22 gauge that I use for ptarmigan, moose, and black bear.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You're listening to your weekly dose of BS, Ballistically Speaking. The Ballistically Speaking Podcast.
Yeah, tonight's gonna be a good night.
Yeah, because the band's back together.
It's been a while since all four of us have been on one fucking episode.
Hey, that's the power of a team.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
So what's going on tonight?
Kurt's leaving. He's done.
And he's done.
It's okay. You guys start talking about Star Trek, and then we'll be good to go.
Kurt, just shut the fuck up and have a drink with me. Nice koozie, Derek. That's a nice koozie.
Yeah, that's from our friends at Apex Optics. Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge. I got 2 of them now.
Hey, now we don't even have to do their ad read. That was pretty slick. That was 2 birds, 1 stone right there.
Precision comes standard.
I'll admit, I use some of my Apex koozies for protecting my camera lens when I travel.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
That would slide over a spotting scope pretty good too.
Well, a little one.
A little one, yeah. I guess not.
Or you get 2 of them.
They're kind of elastic though, right? I mean, it's got to fit over a decent size.
They got a little bit of stretch to them.
Yeah.
They got some give. If you really need a sunshade, I'm sure you could craft one.
Not too stretchy.
They're certainly not magnums.
You just need smaller beers.
I'm not sure what you were referring to there, Kurt, but I'm afraid to ask.
Don't ask.
Hell.
Do you guys realize how old I was when I finally questioned why the Trojan Condom Company named their company Trojan?
Because they snuck in the night?
Yeah, they snuck one past the gates.
You missed the question. Hey?
They snuck one past the gates. It's not hard. Once I actually thought about it, it came to me immediately. But I never thought about it until I was 45 years old.
Well, not to one up you, but it's 53 years on this planet, and this is the first time I've ever.
It just happened for you?
Yeah.
I've been relying on them to not have an heir for over 25, almost 30 years. And I didn't even know what their company was named for.
I think you're just a victim of marketing, Chris.
I clearly am a victim of marketing. And it's not like I'm going to use magnums. I mean, not all of us are worthy of the name.
Chris has got the 44 mag. That's all he needs.
That's right. The 8 3/8 barrels, if you know what I mean.
Millimeter.
We should probably do something less stupid.
You think so?
Like Reed's Mads?
Let's do some of our own marketing.
Alberta Rob thinks it's because they can't. Oh, come on! I can't even say that out loud. If you're on our audio podcast right now, I'm sorry, you're going to miss out on Alberta Rob's joke because I can't repeat it out loud.
Where?
Too late. Hey, he has another question for Kurt already, though. Did Trigger Tech warranty your trigger? First of all, Rob, why do you have Dinty Moore as your YouTube thumbnail?
Somebody thinks he's Mark Wahlberg.
Okay. And secondly, he wants to know, did Trigger Tech warranty your trigger, or did it cost you?
I can't divulge that.
You just signed a fucking NDA?
Sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I just swore within 5 minutes.
No, you know what? I don't know whether I'll get into trouble for this or not, but they haven't sent me a bill. I sent them an email and said, look, Don't give me this glad to be a service bullshit. At least let me pay you for your time and effort. And because I'm the fucking knothead that broke it, I don't feel that anybody else should have to pay for my negligence. So we'll see. I don't know. The bill hasn't arrived yet.
I got
Either way, damn good service.
Just got to add the context. So earlier, for those of you that didn't see Kurt's post, he posted a photo of his Trigger Tech Diamond, and the trigger blade was about 3/4 of the way too short. So
well, if you didn't have such stubby fingers,
clearly a manufacturing error.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Good hook.
Did you drop it?
You shared a picture of your Trigger Tech recently, Derek.
Yes, I will admit I dropped my barreled action off the bench when I was building my precision rifle garage build. And let's just say my Trigger Tech field trigger, the trigger blade started to resemble more of a fish hook than a trigger blade.
I've heard of the argument between a curved trigger and a flat trigger, but you took curved trigger to a new level.
I did.
Did it then also curve to the left or the right?
I'm not going to divulge that.
What is with you today?
What? Me?
What?
You started it there, Trojan.
Chris did
I?
start it. You did.
No, but I started it because of something that Rooster said.
What was it?
I don't remember what he said at all, but I'm sure that he started
Well,
it.
there you go. It's a goddamn fallacy then.
Fallacy.
Anyways, to get away from that, I did email Trigger Tech and I told them what happened. And basically, I packed up the trigger, sent them the shipping tracking number, and as soon as that was on its way, they sent out a new trigger, and I have a brand new Trigger Tech field trigger with a much more normal curved trigger in my rifle. So again, thanks to Trigger Tech for the great support. So
100%. You betcha.
Yeah.
Did they include a little bungee cord so you don't drop it next time?
No.
They included an MDT chassis and just said, fucking put it in there.
Yes.
They have a trigger guard on them for a reason.
Yeah.
They put
Or
extra
just-
bubble wrap in the package, in the box.
Yeah.
Put this on your gun or your head.
I missed all of you.
All right.
Are we paying bills or are we not paying bills?
Let's pay bills.
Let's do that.
Let's pay bills?
Yeah.
Okay. If we have to.
I'm busy highlighting, and yes, there it is.
Oh,
Boom. You like that, guys?
I do.
I think it was highlight. Okay. Yeah. All right.
All
I
right.
did the show notes on my phone. Sorry.
Yes, just sloppy. All right. BS session 133 is brought to you by Callsign 66, Canada's best rifle training. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Book a course now at callsign66.ca and follow them on Instagram at callsign66 and on Facebook at C/S66.
We're also brought to you by Ribstone Gunsmithing. Craftsmanship done right. Contact Oscar at ribstonegunsmithing.ca and Breathe Life back into any firearm. Oscar also has a new book out titled Rust Bluing in the 21st Century. Find it on Amazon.
By the time we change these show notes, it'll be Rust Bluing in the 22nd century. We're always right on top of things with show notes, updates.
104th printing edition.
Yeah.
Yes.
We get a small residual from mentioning that.
Do we?
No. I just wrote that
Usually
one
a
night.
smile.
I said, man, we should totally get a residual for that.
Continuing on, we are also brought to you by Mark Scopes Canada. The Dion Optical Design line of rifle scopes has a scope for all your hunting and shooting needs. Find Doug and Nisa at markscopes.ca.
And Apex Optics. When you buy Apex, precision comes standard. Check out all the fine competition rifle scopes, red dots, and binoculars at apexoptics.co. Also accessories. And just a quick note, Apex is tariff proof. Canadian and international orders ship direct from the Calgary warehouse, and American orders ship from the great state of Texas. No tariffs, no hassle.
I thought you were going to start speaking with an Australian accent there. Apex.
Apex
Apex.
Optics.
My
All
Australian
right,
always
and
listen
EM.
to this.
I prefer Boston.
Continue.
Apex Optics. For all your hunting and shooting needs.
Austin.
I'm
fucking
Mayor Quimby.
mixing companies now.
All right, EM Precision Rifles is also here, but in Vegreville, Alberta. Building Canada's finest precision rifles. Find Shane and Steve on Facebook, Instagram, and on their website at emprifles.ca.
Bolt Action Coffee, bringing specialty coffee to the precision shooting world. Order coffee and merchandise at boltactioncoffee.com.
And we're also brought to you by Odell Engineering. Pick up a Canuck shotgun, Bergera rifle, and Apex ammunition from your local distributor and tell them Phil sent you. Look them up on Instagram, Facebook, and on their website at odellengineeringlimited.com.
And finally, last but not least, Sterling Arms International. They're still number one in my books. I don't know what to say about it. They're having a bit of a rough go, but not because of anything that they did other than following the rules. Anyway, they are the home of the R18 Mark III and the R18 Mark I. Let's just say we will see them again. They may be down, but they are not out. Stay tuned for the latest updates on the battle to get the R9 back.
Nice.
And go ahead, Kurt. Tell everybody about your rifle.
All right. Keep in mind, folks, please, we have a custom rifle raffle going on. You'd never know it by our presence on the socials and stuff like that. We're the shittiest salesman this side of Toronto, I'm sure. I don't know. I just picked a random.
Random town.
The custom build that we should actually have a picture of, that I have pictures of, that I've never bothered to really share, I guess. It's a 338 Lapua built by EM Precision Rifles. It's Curtis Custom Action. It's the Curtis Helix single shot action. IBI 30-inch heavy barrel of, obviously, fitted with a custom EM Precision muzzle brake blended into the barrel and a Trigger Tech diamond, all laid into a full custom laminate stock built by Rifles Refined, bedded by me.
Ooh.
That's all I can add. Oh, and there's a 40-minute rail on it too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
Well, that only gives us like 15 minutes. There's a old Liam, not Liam Neeson. He's the new guy. Who was the old guy? Naked Gun. Oh my
Leslie
God.
Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Leslie. Yeah, it was a Leslie Nielsen joke. I can't believe I forgot Leslie Nielsen's name.
I had to scavenge it for 2 range trips for the trigger after I broke mine. And it's an EM branded Trigger Tech trigger.
Special edition.
Skeletonized. It is.
Wait. We didn't get to see the trigger on it. Is it intact?
Yes.
We don't trust you
Oh,
anymore.
that one is intact.
This one. Yes.
It's missing the middle of the shoe.
Largely unmolested. It's a little got some schmutz on it, but it's okay. That comes free.
Schmutz comes
Anyway.
free.
$20 per entry. Email us at info@bspodcast.ca and include your return email and phone number per entry, please.
Hey, finally, working the YouTube grind pays less than a solar farm in a snowstorm. Say that 5 times fast. If you want to support the channel directly, head over to storydknives.com or cdnprecision.com if you're out east, and you can pick up one of our Gardner knives. We think this is one of the best survival type / everyday fixed blade knives available for a very reasonable cost. We're proud of this little guy. So please go have a look at a great knife. We're confident it'll be on your side for a lifetime. That's storydknives.com.
Oh, Rob, you big jerk! I didn't break this trigger as well. I just finished saying I scavenged it because I broke my other one. You big
What's this
detour.
that 1AB is talking about here with this? How
Okay.
about the 600 criminals up for deportation that never showed up? I don't
Oh.
know anything about that.
Been 600 migrants, whether they're refugees or immigrants of whatever status in Canada, identified as criminals. Uh, Knowing this government, probably even before they got in, and they said, "Sure, welcome. You deserve to be here," and fuck the rest of Canada. 600 of them, and now they have no idea where they are.
So they're actually trying to deport them now, but they've lost track of them.
Well, this is what they're saying. I don't know. They're probably some department of the government probably is they're employed by. I'm sure.
Well, that's just
Yeah.
that's just
Probably by some consulting firm working on the buyback program.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
well, that's
did you
just
guys
600
know
of
way
the
back?
remaining 2 million or so that we lost track of over the last 10 years.
2+. Yeah,
No
yeah,
big deal.
exactly.
Do we remember what?
Do you guys remember back when the long gun registry was a thing? What was it, 94 that they brought it in?
Hmm.
And no,
No, it was like
Okay.
97 or 8.
no. I'm not going to argue with you. I was sure it was 94, but
Well, it could you could be right, too.
irrelevant. So there was a whole influx once people started to understand what it was all about and the implications of not registering your long guns and all that kind of stuff. There's a whole influx of registrations, and Miramichi couldn't handle them all, so they decided to do the subcontracting thing for all of this.
Mhm.
There was one particular company in Edmonton that got a contract for registration of all these long guns. Guess who owned the company?
Do they ride Harley Davidsons?
They do indeed. They do.
I think I know where this is going.
The Hells Angels got the contract?
Well, no, the company
shell
that
company.
the Hells Angels owned.
Are you shitting me?
Oh, no, I am not. You can look it up if you can find it anymore. Like the incompetence of these cocksuckers down east, is long.
Kudos to them for
old,
getting a government
and deep.
contract.
Well, the Rolling Stones made a mistake in hiring them also, so I guess the government's in
What?
good
Yeah,
company.
what was that about?
Was it in the 60s
Security?
or the 70s or something? They hired them to do security for one of their shows, and they ended up stabbing a bunch of people.
I mean, they were told to do a job. They
sure did the
better than
job.
most.
Hey, listen, those people that got stabbed, they were probably told once, maybe twice. They still didn't listen. What do you expect?
The people
What did they
rushing
think
the
"you're making
stage,
me stabby" was intended to mean?
They were probably thinking, you know what, the Rolling Stones, they're going to die early in like the late 70s. Like, I'm never going to get to see them again. Boy, were they wrong on that one.
Well, it was not the summer of love, I'll tell you that much.
Also,
was
the
much later.
one-armed bandit a little bit further up. And this one is a gem also. Carney announces toll bridge fee reduction that is run by the Crown, and Anita Anand's husband has a stake in the company that oversees tolls at bridges. You couldn't dream up this shit.
But that one right there, like that seems like pretty typical government nepotism to me.
It is. It
I
is.
mean, I'm all about piling on Mark Carney, but I mean that's
Yes.
that's the typical shit that I'm
is.
not excusing, but it's
Right.
it's
But
a
let's
little bit more
concentrate
typical.
on trashing the Liberals for as long as we possibly can.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat the Christmas
Don't
rush and
harsh
start
my
hating them
grind,
now.
man.
Well, let's do this one. How do you pronounce the name of our public safety minister right now?
No,
I
you're
am
not
not
trapping me
going.
with that.
Gary.
Ananda Sangari?
Gary.
Gary
That's me.
Ananda Sangari?
Just Gary.
Are just Gary? Are you guys aware that of this whole deal where he 2 times tried to convince immigration to accept the application of a known Tamil tiger
Yeah.
on behalf of the guy's
Wrote a letter
wife?
and everything. Yep.
2 letters, twice. He did this twice.
Well,
That was
okay.
like way back.
Call me
There's
a
a bunch of
liar
stuff going
for a
about
letter.
that way back in the day.
And well, now apparently this is new news. Maybe it isn't.
This
but,
is just common practice for the government, don't you know?
well, yeah.
Everybody knows that.
But what's interesting that I read just last week was that he did this on behalf of the guy's wife, who's already in Canada, but apparently she's not a constituent of his.
That's right. Yeah,
They were
and
having
this
an
is what he
affair.
was saying.
Allegedly.
I do that for all my constituents.
Yeah, but she's
even
not a
though-
constituent.
No, I know. Yeah.
No, they were doing the Coldplay concert thing.
Which is
Cheating. Did you not see the thing with the CEO and the HR chick?
I've been on vacation
Oh, that.
this month.
Leave those
I've
people
barely
alone.
been doing anything.
I mean, yeah, it's bad enough they were seen at a Coldplay concert.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And what they were snugging or what?
Well, they're both in committed
Co-workers.
relationships without each other.
Yeah.
And they were snugging.
In a private booth.
Well, who filmed them in a private booth?
Or they were in a private. They were upstairs. Someone filmed it.
It was the kiss cam.
Yeah.
Were they just kissing, or was there more going on?
No, he was standing behind her, and he had his arms kind of wrapped around her waist, and she had kind of her arms on top. So like kind of a loving kind of embrace was
Okay.
Was the stereotypical enjoy the moment kind of thing.
So this was a figurative pants around the ankle situation, not a literal.
Yes,
one.
it was
Right,
just a
right.
it was a PDA. It wasn't super explicit, but they
But they're
quickly
both married.
bailed because they were having an affair, and it appeared on a jumbotron.
So I have some things to say about that. First of all, leave those fucking people alone. Second of all, did anybody ask anybody what their spouses were like? Maybe they were complete assholes, and they were just, they got together because both their respective spouses are absolute fucking twats. They're actually enjoying themselves for once.
Hey, Rooster.
And-
Rooster.
They both got fired. Like, really?
Hey,
Come on.
Rooster. Tell us
Yeah.
you have an ex-wife without telling us you have an ex-wife.
I better stop here.
This is
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like the fired thing. Like, why, I don't know why they would get fired. Like, get
Mm.
fired from their
I'd be
marriages.
suing that
Okay,
fucking
that I
company.
get. But what does it have to
Yeah.
do with their job?
Well, exactly. And that
Mhm.
company feels entitled to their private lives. Go fuck yourself twice.
So Alberta Rob says that he was holding her the way that Mike holds Derek.
No,
And apparently he said that because he feels like Derek is the little spoon.
just because I'm taller.
I am relatively short, okay, people.
I don't see Derek denying this, or Mike, actually, for that fact.
What happens at summer
Yeah.
camp stays at summer camp.
What happens at Ukrainian summer camp stays there.
Good old Bible camp.
It's 2025, okay, people.
Hey, Mike, you wanted to say something about something.
I did. So, scrolling through Facebook on the can, as one does, a post popped up. I believe it was Canada's NFA that brought this to my attention. It was a post. I'm just going to say it was Nar City, Canada. They have a post up on July 26 about what are your thoughts on gun control? So naturally, as a curious user, I went and thought, I need to go check out what this comment section is like, because my understanding is Nar City is more of a liberal-minded post.
What is Nar City?
It's one of those like kind of city Facebook pages. I think it's Vancouver area. I could be totally wrong on that.
Okay.
If people want to correct me, I'm totally open to it. And going through the
I
comments,
think that NARS stands for Narcan for the Vancouver area.
quite possibly.
I believe that.
That tracks.
Oh, wait a minute. So hang on. I got this here for you. Narcity is a digital media company focused on creating content for millennials and Gen Z, particularly related to news and travel. That it says all I need to know.
Yeah.
That's
So-
right. Yeah.
I knew what I was bracing for going in, and since I think some of the gun pages got word of it, they started jumping in to add common sense. And seeing the typical, the anti-gun stuff, that doesn't shock me. But then some of the comments that I really did not like is, as an avid hunter, nobody needs restricted firearms. Or, as a hunter, you only need this to hunt. And
You're
if
not
you
a
have
hunter.
a semi-auto,
Right.
you're not very good at hunting. I'm like,
These people aren't even hunters. Like, prove it.
no, they're, and I'm going to caveat that with is I've met people like that in real life, so I know these people exist.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Yeah, we've all met those idiots, but I don't believe for a second when I see people posting anonymously online like that. It's like Goody Hutchings is a hunter. Yeah.
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 You and your 22 gauge are going to tell me what I need to hunt.
But there are people that, and if you don't believe me, go to your local gun show. You'll find this.
Well, yeah, fair
You know
enough.
what? All you need is this to hunt. I've always hunted with that. Therefore, you don't need anything
Right.
else. I'm like,
Right.
30
Tell me-
aught 6. 2
Two
6.
All I've
World
ever used
Wars.
is single ply toilet paper. That's all that anyone needs.
Kurt, that's a bad analogy. That is all anyone needs.
I don't care. It's mine.
see, you're
some
one of
people-
them.
Some people I don't think use it to begin with, so
Hey,
Very
a hand in antibacterial soap has always done me well.
Hmm.
saved
Get
you a
up
lot
a
of
day.
money in the wrong one. Hey,
Saved
Chris.
me so. I have saved so many
Suddenly
forests.
Alberta Rob
Canada's-
chiming in. All you need is a 303.
Yeah,
All you need-
Indubitably.
a
All you
Maxim
need, my son,
chambered
is a
in
cut down
303.
trio tree. Cut down trio tree. That's all you need.
Okay, so Nar City. So you see the Fudds. They're making comments. What else?
That was kind of the thing. I wanted to maybe throw that around a bit. People think, like, should we be telling other people what they need to be hunting with? Because I
Are
think
you asking
there's
us, or is this rhetorical?
we're going to discuss this, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
Because when I shot the NRL in Cranbrook this year, I shot with some of the Nosler reps, and they came from Ontario.
Mhm.
That was their first time ever shooting over 100 yards when they hunt. So when you see something like that, you don't know if you're in Northern Ontario and your furthest shot is iron sights like 50 yards. As opposed to out west, we have some space in between us and the animals. You may need to take a longer shot and thus require different equipment. And I think what a lot of people are missing in the what you need to hunt debate is
Aside
delivery
from
system?
brains.
that. The delivery
Sorry.
system is one component, but the actual terminal ballistics is what matters. If I want to hunt with a semi-auto, because I can do different things with it, such as modify it to my personal needs, I don't think we need to be, dragging on people. How do I say this? You shouldn't be telling other people what to hunt with if that works what's best for them. And we need, as a community, I think we need to stop with the Fudd Lore and all this garbage of you only need this to hunt. Like, if that's what somebody needs to hunt with, that's what they hunt with. Shut up.
Okay, well, along that vein, 1AB says, as a person with one arm, hunting with a bolt action sucks.
See? but that even kind of goes to caliber
I just
position.
don't think he's trying very hard.
Yeah, I don't like. Come on.
Yeah.
I've
Listen,
seen that one
there was
person
this
shoot.
from Drummer on Telemiracle garbage.
Well, the leopard only had one arm.
Sounds like a
That's
skill
right.
issue.
Sounds like a skill issue.
There's a
And that-
guy that I saw on, but he used to be on there quite frequently. He's a farmer in Nebraska, I think, or Indiana.
Isn't that the millennial
And-
farmer?
No.
Okay.
Aware.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway, this drove his tractors. He drove semis, grain. No, it's fucking amazing what people do.
Mhm.
I love how quickly we transitioned into telling amputees that they're
Yeah.
just not trying hard enough. Pull up your pants with your toes and try harder.
That's right.
Some people can hunt with a understand what I'm saying. It just feels to me
Right. Like there's no business case for natural gas export it from Canada.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Japan signs $1 trillion deal with the US.
Ugh.
Perfect
these-
example of not knowing what the fuck you're talking about.
These goddamn fuds that are constantly saying these things, they won't hunt with they wouldn't hunt a fox with anything less than a 30-06.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 270.
Mm-hmm. A
And
7
that's
pound
another-
30-6
Another
That's
part of the
incredible.
Yeah.
conversation
It-
is, should we be calling people FUDs? Because there is some debate that, well, that's not really helpful to the community, calling these people FUDs. But no, that is us calling people out the
It's a
community
correction.
Yeah.
and correcting the community. Because there was it Blood Origins, which I would like to have them on the show to debate this actually. They got kind of offended that we were calling people FUDs. I'm like, have you not read the room? Like, yes, there are outliers where none of you are like that. But there, I would argue, is a very large proportion that is very FUD-like and incorrect in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
But,
That's
but
some
how do
tech
we
issues.
combat it?
How do we
Yes,
combat? Well, I think that's the problem with the gun industry. We're not a single industry. Well, we're a single industry, but we're not a single community.
No. We're a loose association around one thing. Because the
Yeah.
other thing that I would see is there are also bow hunters who want nothing to do with firearms. And I would argue there are some bow hunters that think hunting with a gun is wrong because you're not as connected with nature, where you're basically within molesting distance of a moose.
Yeah, well, I think that's something maybe even
It's an
that's
interesting
born
term.
of something different, because there's always people that, they're so insecure that they have to one up, and they say, oh, I got my deer with a 308 last year. Oh, yeah, well, I got my deer with a perfectly placed 22 long rifle. Yeah, well, I got mine with a spear and a loincloth. That there's always going to be that. But I think that the gun community, this will be a big surprise to you guys, but I'm going to compare it to the martial arts community.
Please
There's UFC athletes and there's Tai Chi. You know what I mean? Like these things are both under the umbrella of martial arts. These things are not comparable. They're not the same. One is
Great for old
exercise. Yeah, one is exercise. And the other is as close as you can get within a sport context to actual fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got everything in between. And even karate, you've got traditional karate where people they don't even spar. It's just like kata all day, every day. And then you've got combat karate that Boss Rutan and George St. Pierre are spokesmen for, which is really not a whole lot different than MMA in terms of, actual combat, hand-to-hand combat in a sport context. Guns are the same thing. Guns, if you want to go all the way down to like air guns, maybe even crossbows, that sort of thing, to like rim fire, to handgun caliber, to large rifle caliber. And every type of firearm that'll fire all of those different types of things, it's a loose association of people that have different but similar interests.
Yeah, but
Which strengthens, I think, our argument that just because you're here and somebody else is here, shut the fuck up. You're not better than them.
But how do we convince them? Because, like, for an example, and I've seen this at a range, I was zeroing
Testosterone.
season.
That's how.
I don't think it's even that. I think it's just poor education.
It would help.
We've dropped. We like to think that we know guns, but the person that says he knows everything knows nothing. I'm at the range. There's a guy.
That's not true. I do know everything.
That's
but carry on.
That's why you have no
Good
hair.
I knew you were going to say that. That's why I was ready.
And his head is 1.5 times larger than the average humans.
Anyways, continuing on. I'm at the range. Buddy's zeroing his hunting rifle. Like you can tell, he's shot for quite a while. This is not a new shooter by any sort.
Yep.
He's got I see the green box come out, and he's lifting the lid. We all know what that means. And he's shooting, and he's got takes a pie plate, staples it to the target because it says paper targets only. Aluminum.
You mean like a paper plate?
Like a literal pie plate onto the
made
target.
of paper though.
No, like aluminum pie plate.
They stole
the sign says paper. The sign says paper targets only. He takes a pie plate, puts it on the target, starts shooting it, and it looks like you shot it with a shotgun at like 50, 20 yards. It's like, oh yeah, that's perfect. I'm gonna go get a deer.
And it's meaning like it's like if it's an 8-inch pie plate, he's got an 8-inch group.
No, it's like a 12-inch group. Like it's beyond that.
Okay.
And he thinks, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. That's perfectly fine. I'm like,
no.
Yeah.
No, that's so bad.
Well, this is one of the reasons that I actually do disagree with what we generally consider FUD. I don't want to say FUD culture. Well, FUD culture. People who are FUDs.
Let's do that.
Because I generally, and I'm going to make a generalized statement here. I generally find that the FUDs that want to tell you how to shoot or what to do with guns or what guns you need, I've already said it. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And those are the guys that are out there shooting 12-inch groups on an 8-inch pie plate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that that's good enough.
The problem is that people, because don't get me, I'm not crapping on FUDs. There is some knowledge they possess that will die with them, and we need to converse with them.
Yeah, about Star Trek.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
No, they may excel in the world of tracking, locating animal behaviors, that kind of realm.
That is good knowledge to have. Which is
never has that evidence been.
Maybe I'm being a little generous here.
I think you might be being generous.
Yeah.
I think that would be a very small minority, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
might track their cat across the bedroom or something.
I think
that was
an
interesting analogy.
Is you see this with certain people. Eventually, after a certain point, they just stop learning.
Yeah,
and they stop the willingness to learn. Some people, it's right out of high school, and some people, it's about 7th grade. The brain just essentially shuts off, and they only learn what they absolutely have to. They figured out their menial job, and they're just going through the motions in life, really, from that point on, and they're not interested in pursuing learning of their hobby or stuff that's not even relevant to them. Just learn about shit for the sake of learning about shit. It's good for you. So I think that's a
mentality, right?
Yes.
Well,
I think that's a huge proponent of Buddhism.
I think Mike touched on it earlier about the insecurity of a lot of these people. To be honest, most people with a I don't know how to say this kindly, I guess that actually are open to learning something will actually have a conversation with somebody and accept that maybe they could learn something. But so many of these people, they're just closed off to that, and they are insecure about being told they're wrong. Like, how dare you?
Yeah,
who are you to argue with me?
The problem with that is, like, you'll see a guy will say, I'm an avid hunter, all you need is this. Like, the issue with that is that non-hunting, non-firearms owners are going to see that and be like, well, this guy clearly knows what he's talking about. He's an avid hunter. There's no bona fides at all. That's Latin, by the way. Attached to that. And the problem that we are running a PR campaign in Canada right now when it comes to firearms, and we are just getting dummied when people say dumb shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fair. How many people listen to those, like genuinely? How many people are listening to those types of people?
If you have almost minimal interest, you'll look at the first 3 comments and be like, I agree with that. Oh, that's an interesting take. That's kind of what I think. Good enough. No one needs anything else but a bolt gun for hunting.
Yeah, that's fair. How much of that sort of mentality is an effect of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
I think it's huge that we don't know what we don't know, but how do we get people on the path to learning? Is that the way?
Okay, this is a whole bigger conversation. I was having this conversation a little while ago. People have lost the curiosity to learn.
Absolutely.
I can agree with that.
Like I think culturally, socially, as a people, we have. I remember saying this in the 90s that we're losing, like we have stopped valuing intelligence. You know, like it was a thing in the 90s when somebody
loudness is more looked upon more favorably than actual intelligence.
Yeah, well, it genuinely is. It genuinely is. But I can remember in the 90s, you know, somebody would say something and say, "Oh, look at the big fucking brain on you." And like it's a big joke, but that has been our culture for over 30 years now. And I think that it has actually had an effect.
Does that specific statement that you just made correlate honestly really well with our general what do you say, stance that, oh, well, at least we're not American. We're better than them.
And that's a really, like, and I'm going to assume people on the liberal more side of things, just, I'm generalizing people. I'm going to go with it, follow it. Well, I don't want to be American. I'm like, that sounds kind of racist if you really just kind of take a little bit of an overhead view of that. I'm like, that sounds
racism is okay as long as you're being racist against the people in power. That's the belief. That's the progressive belief.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm like, I just love the irony of it, to be honest. I'm like,
yeah, the anti-Americanism is another proponent that just seems so...
Which is
I think
really exploded recently.
So shallow.
Yeah. We are an arrogant people, collectively.
We are.
For what reasons? That one still baffles me.
So
well,
I
fucking great.
Coasting on our laurels a tad too much.
Yeah, there's definitely a component to life has been too good and people don't have to work for anything.
Yep.
But the irony of that is people are completely overworked and kept way too busy to be able to have the capacity to even consider what's going on in their lives and the decisions that are being made behind their backs. So it's like, it's a really strange thing. People are running around and working like crazy, but they're not productive.
Right.
And productivity includes time for continuing education, for learning. But there, you know, that requires a level of curiosity that people completely lose in adulthood.
Yep.
You Kazi chimes in. I've never seen the anti-American stuff in real life, but it's highly visible on forums and such.
I have seen it in real life, unfortunately.
It's going any Facebook page on Canada right now. Like, look what Trump did to Carney. Look what Carney did to Trump. I'm like, just because somebody said it, that does not mean it's true.
Well, Uke has the benefit of being in America right now. And probably why he hasn't seen the anti-American stuff.
Because I'm almost at the point, like, I'm embarrassed to go to the States with some of the crap that people are saying on my behalf, which I don't agree with.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next warm embrace of the U.S., to be honest. Can't wait for SHOT Show again.
Mm.
Like, honestly, the reception we got down there, like, I say that jokingly, but seriously, when we went down there in January, it was obvious to most of the, at least most of the U.S. vendors down there that, oh, hey, what's going on in Canada, you guys? Fuck, I'm sorry, that's happening with to you guys and all that kind of stuff. They were well aware, and
Mhm.
they were sympathetic to it.
Mhm.
And man, I'm telling you, that's more than they would get, a better reception than they would get up here, generally
Yeah.
speaking.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
yeah.
you're American? What the fuck are you doing here? That's kind of that's a lot of the attitude that I've seen
And then they would
around
do
this
this in their
country.
face.
Oh yeah, you fucking retards.
I think Alberta Rob is right when he says the average Canadian believes they're superior to Americans. The amount
Absolutely,
of hubris,
yeah.
the amount of absolutely undeserved hubris that
Yeah, earned
Canadians
from
can
what?
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think that's new, though. I
No,
think that's something that goes all the way back to the War of 1812.
I'm,
know?
I'm gonna say
Boy,
it's
have we
right when
leaned
we
on
lost
that.
the Avro era.
Well, fair. We have leaned on that quite a lot. What was that, Mike?
I'm gonna say like maybe where we were actually kind of superior. The second we lost the Avro arrow, downhill from there.
It was done. Yeah.
I don't think we were ever really
Oh wait,
superior.
the Canada Arm.
Not superior, but like at least
Canada
somewhat comparable.
I think we've always been comparable
That's-
to Americans. We're
That's
especially
Milli
in the
Vanilli
West,
type.
like the
Yeah.
prairies. We are very like, especially nowadays. I think that the prairies, by and large, have more in common. The people of the prairies have more in common with Americans than they do with Canadians.
Mhm.
I think Eastern Canadians still have this, holier than thou illusion. But to be perfectly honest with you, a lot of Eastern Canadians, Ontarians, Quebecers, they have that same holier than thou attitude about us in the prairies.
Yeah.
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 And that also probably exists in states like Maine.
Yeah,
And-
they're all just very pretentious cunts. Not all.
I'll
They're not
second
all.
that.
There's like some of the best people in the world I've met from Ontario and from Quebec. Rick Kettigbeck is a pretty good exception from Quebec, and obviously Phil and everybody at Odell Engineering would be a great example of some cool people in the GTA area. I just said Greater Toronto area.
You're
but
okay, buddy.
I think, generally speaking, there are a bunch of pretentious cunts out there.
Mm.
So something I've noticed over the years, the many years, I guess, in my would you say profession? I guess through my working career, I've worked with a lot of people from a lot of different places around this country. A lot of Ontarians, people from the Maritimes as well. But I eventually clued in to the people outside of the big centers in Ontario are really just like us.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I'll
They
shout out Northern Ontario. They're just like us with mortuaries.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
shorter ranges, poor bastards.
Yeah, I know a good number of people in North Bay and Sudbury, and they are quite a lot like us out west. So you're right about that. I might be being a little bit unkind when I
So
lump all
we're looking
Ontarians
more at
together.
more of an urban rural divide, but I do think the region of Canada does flavor that in both regards. So again, an eastern flavor to the urbanites versus a western urbanite. They're both going to be urbanites. They're both going to have a lot in common, and
Yeah,
obviously people in rural areas. But at the same time, I myself, I grew up in a rural area, and I live in a city now, and I have for the last decade.
Mhm.
I'm still very rural.
Mhm.
So
Well, I think you're right about that too. I think even people in Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton are very different urban people than I see in the Ottawa Center or Toronto.
mhm.
I've never been to Montreal, mostly because of it's Montreal.
The French.
Yeah, it's mostly the French thing.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get so many fucking death threats after this episode.
Again,
but
I'm here for it.
No, I like Van City has a lot of progressive urban dipshits, but they are different urban dipshits than I tend to see around the Toronto area.
Mm-hmm.
Bending Ballistics wants to know if I speak French. Je ne parle pas français.
Mais oui, cocksucker.
You know, I say that all the time. When we were at the Apex match and I was sitting under the tent, a couple of Parisian French folks were competing at the match, and they came up and they met a couple of Quebecois French guys, and they were all having a conversation. And
turf war.
yeah, the one guy turned to me, was like, "Tu parles pas français?" or something like that. I don't know how you actually say it.
Man, no.
I looked at him dead in the eyes and said, "Je ne parle pas français." And then they started laughing and started like talking to me in French. I said, "No, guys, I don't speak French."
No.
Like, I learned how to say I don't speak French in French, and that's all I know how to say in French.
I don't speak French, and put it on Hawkeye's tab are the only French that I know.
I don't even know how to say put it on Hawkeye's tab. I can say baguette, pamplemousse, and je ne sais quoi.
Omelette du fromage.
Du fromage.
It's a cheese omelet.
And sacre bleu.
Mm.
Sacre bleu.
Tabernacle.
No, my friend, you have to say tabernacle if you're going around with a lot of the guys from Quebec, but remember, they got to take a smoke break about every 15, 20 minutes at least.
I'm so glad you did that.
You know
so
what?
that
I
I'm
want
not
to
the
punch
only
you right
one
in the
who's gonna-
face right now.
I'm so
You
glad-
sound like Dominic LeBlanc.
Oh, you know, you hang around with a lot of the French guy, you know, you pick up the accent real quick.
I'm so happy
I
that
see you,
I'm not
Mike.
the only one getting death threats after this show. And by the way,
personal,
Bending Ballistics, the guy from fucking Kentucky, is telling me that I'm not a real Canadian if I can't speak French. So here's a little history lesson for you, Bending Ballistics. It's called the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. Look it the fuck up.
Also,
They
I encourage
lost.
every Canadian to read up on that because also most Canadians probably don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They didn't defend the wall.
One job.
They had one job.
And
It
also,
covers
also,
60%
They
of your
let the
body.
British come up the cliff.
also, French is very regionalized in Canada. So,
Well, not as much. Well, yeah, from what I understand, even in Quebec, like it's still regionalized there by and large, isn't it? Like you're really getting the French in Montreal and Quebec City, or is it the other way around?
I've never been to Quebec, so I'm the last person you should ask.
See, I don't know either. I'm just going by what I think I've heard. I
It's all
don't
about
like
you.
traveling to foreign countries, so.
it's a nation within a nation. So,
Well, they have been recognized as a sovereign nation.
It's funny though.
Or-
France French and Quebec French, they don't like each other. Is what I heard.
I don't know how true that is. I think that they're bosom buddies still. When it comes to against the British, I'll bet you they're still bosom buddies.
Man, half of Alberta and Saskatchewan are against the British.
They're all holding that Napoleonic grudge still. Look, he spread himself too thin. It's not our goddamn fault. Blame the Russians. They're the one that kicked his ass in fucking Moscow.
That's right.
That's such an influential period in time, and nobody knows anything about it.
Well, you're right.
Your average person.
A large
knows
part of the
nothing.
reason why the New France did not take hold, why the Louisiana Purchase happened, why they lost eventually the Battle of the Plains of Abraham and the war, why they lost all the territory from Illinois all the way down. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Napoleon spread himself too thin and he pulled all of his support out of the New World. And that if he hadn't have tried to take Moscow, things probably would have looked very different in Canada. I'm glad it went the way it did.
Also,
Yeah.
America fought Britain's B team, so they love it when you bring that fact up.
Yeah, but it was France's like D team by the time we got around to it. I'll be honest with you, in the early days, the French were way smarter about colonizing than the British were.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Way smarter. They worked with the First Nations so much better. They didn't just fuck them over immediately. I mean,
They
there's
waited.
They waited and then convinced them,
Immediately.
like, hey, you guys should go kill those guys.
Yeah, and they did.
And then the other tribes were like, hey, we're going to kill you guys because you like those guys.
Of course, I say that, but Napoleon is really responsible for abandoning a lot of the First Nations tribes and then just left them to get slaughtered by the British. But let's ignore that part of history.
Yeah, we can ignore history for now.
Selective realities. I like it.
Selective reality. That just goes to show the average Canadian doesn't know their history.
And let's take it from another European. The French like no one but the French, says Jens Gerke.
Agreed.
Gord Peterson chimes in. I'm impressed with the history knowledge. I'm like, after you turned a certain age, for the younger listeners, I know there's one or two of you.
Wait, are you still in your 20s?
No, I'm in my 30s.
Are you?
There's
oh,
a
God,
point,
thank God.
There's an inflection point where you kind of have to pick. You're like, you pick history or smoking meat. And then when you pick history, you pick an area that you really want to just focus on really hard.
Didn't they smoke meat throughout history?
You know,
No,
as
but
a
like-
teenager, I remember deciding whether I was going to learn something new or masturbate also.
Yeah. But like some people, like my brother, he's like, give him a Traeger. He's a magician.
I don't know if you're trying to segue away from the history.
Okay. Yes,
I was actually the opposite. I was very into World War II history from about, say, 8 to 16. I remember in my social studies 30 in Alberta covered World War II in that period and post-war Cold War. Teacher had some questions from the past curriculum on he was marking. He took them out because it's like, oh, this book, but I still got it right. Highest mark in social studies, 30 out of my graduating class. And then 96 in a
I just said that part of the problem with our culture is that we stopped valuing.
so
I'm sure we're
I
going to be able to recover.
a video link on the terminal ballistics. So I'm just going to share my screen here and show a Facebook short of a video. And
For audio
just
listeners,
bear
this
with me a
is also
moment.
going to be audio.
From here, and the biggest, the most popular gun is right now is a 35 Wayland.
Isn't that interesting?
Everybody wants a 35 Wayland here in Louisiana because of the primitive weapon, and the 35 is a all around gun.
Yep,
and the cartridges, and then
it's great.
And then that went from most popular to least liked was the 6.5 Creedmoor. And we sold when we first opened, we sold a ton of 6.5 Creedmoors.
Okay,
and now it's like we can't hardly give them away.
Why is that?
I think it's a lot to do with people having issues on tracking. I think the bullet is too fast.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people don't make a great shot and it passes through and don't leave any exit wounds. So you don't hardly have any blood trails.
Ken's here to upset everybody.
So,
So that clip, I hope you guys heard it. Hope that worked.
Here in Louisiana.
Yeah, it worked.
Here in Louisiana. So Buddy was talking about the
Former French colony, by the way. Way to tie that in.
Yes.
So I remember seeing that clip and I'm like, there's actually a lot to this clip. We'll ignore the first part about the 35 Wayland. I do enjoy the 35 Wayland. Probably going to build one.
How did he try and tie that in with primitive weapons? I didn't catch that part, but he said primitive weapons right around that 35 Wayland. That's not a thing.
So in Louisiana and some southern states, they have essentially a primitive cartridge season.
But how is 35 Wayland
it's kind of like a
cartridge?
straight wall season, straight wall cartridge season, and 35 Wayland is included in that cartridge.
Because it's based on a 30-06?
Because,
politicians
said
made the
straight
law.
wall
Don't try to understand.
Well,
when they neck out the
and it is
30-06, it
in-
becomes a straight wall.
Close to a straight wall.
it's close. Yeah.
I
When you
didn't know
look at
that.
one,
Okay.
so. So, anyways, he gets talking. He says a number of things about the 6.5 Creedmoor. Says the first thing he says is he talks about tracking. Now, with no exit wound.
Right.
So, like, hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
Somehow they have left the animal.
Can you cue that part up, or was that? I'm not the only one who needs to listen to it twice. I'm not the only one who missed it. I know it.
Other side of Hammond from here, and the the biggest, the most popular gun is right now is a 35 Wayland.
Isn't that interesting?
Everybody wants a 35 Wayland here in Louisiana because of the primitive weapon, and the 35 is a all around gun.
Yep.
And the cartridges, and then
it's great.
And then that went from most popular to least liked was the 6.5 Creedmoor. You know, we sold when we first opened, we sold a ton of 6.5 Creedmoors.
Okay.
And now it's like we can't hardly give them away.
Why is that?
I think it's a lot to do with people having issues on tracking. I think the bullet is too fast.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people don't make a great shot and it passes through and don't leave any exit wounds. So you don't hardly have any blood trails.
Ken's here to upset everybody.
So, you know.
Okay, I think what he meant to say was it passes right through, there's no expansion, and so you can't see the exit wound.
Yes, that's what he meant to say, but he's obviously not a very good communicator. However,
fair enough. He is from Louisiana, though. He barely speaks English.
He is from Louisiana, and this guy owns a gun counter, so he's on the front lines of Fudds on stools and gun shops every day, all day. So he's been bombarded with propaganda. First of all, I want to bring up too fast. This is a common Fudd myth that the bullet is going too fast to expand. Right. Now, you could pretty easily debunk that in the fact that velocity is a function of how much energy is on target. And also, if bullets could go too fast, Magnum cartridges wouldn't exist. What's the whole idea of a Magnum cartridge? More powder behind it so it can go faster. So Buddy's obviously not using his brain.
They're shooting Full Metal Jacket 6.5 Creedmoors down in Louisiana.
Yes, and that's also another thing I'm going to talk about, bullet design. And also, he did note that, interesting enough, that some people, he said in there, some people don't have shot placement that great. That I can agree with. Yeah. Sometimes you fuck up a shot. That's the one thing I can agree with, but this too fast. So I get, when I tell people, especially that people that don't shoot, that will shoot at steel targets, get a ricochet, like, what the hell is going to happen? Like, that's dangerous. It's like, okay, tell them, like, have you ever had a hard pair that if you
no
wall, it's going to go splat? I said, that's the same thing happening essentially with it's going to expand. We all know that. Hey, he did.
To Texas.
Yes.
Along with all the Californians.
Yeah. Or bullet failure in some regard. So in this case,
according to the marketing.
Yeah, according to the marketing. So in this case,
don't go throwing another monkey wrench into Derek's plan here. He's trying to lay something out for you.
Listen, you have to admit I've been doing well with keeping my mouth shut. So.
Yes. So essentially, this guy is attributing somehow speed as a result to failure to expand.
Yeah.
Or people just not shooting well, because again, that's a factor we don't know. How well the shot did the guy make? But so that we have that. That is a viable thing. I know we had BC Extreme Outdoorsman on about a summer ago, and he's an avid hunter, and he's also a PRS shooter. So he's not a filthy casual shooter. He knows his stuff. And he said during a sheep hunt, he had I do believe it was a Berger or Barnes bullet, and it failed to expand. He placed a good shot on the sheep, and he saw it essentially went right through, didn't react. He pumped another shot into the animal. The animal went down. That one expanded. Upon dissecting the animal, he found the path of the first bullet and confirmed it did not expand.
Well, that was because his first shot was with the Creedmoor and the second one was with the Wayland.
No.
He left that out of the story. He left it out of the story. The Creedmoor was going too fast, Derek.
I'm pretty sure he was actually shooting a 260 AI, if I remember. So
yeah, and I once caught a fish this big. Sorry, carry on.
So that's myth need to break down. There's no such thing as there's not too fast doesn't cause a bullet not to expand. However, you can get too fast causing rapid expansion. I listened to a podcast, the Big Game Hunting podcast, in which this fellow, he detailed stories at which the animal was recovered. So there's actual evidence to look at. And he details generally soft bullets, softer like SSTs, ELDXs, being shot at high velocities and impacting animals at close range, in which case they actually expand very rapidly, but they actually don't penetrate into the vital cavity. He explains essentially surface, like near surface wounds, like 2 inches in, and the bullet is essentially super fragmented.
2 inches. Yeah. Well, and that makes sense because I'm with you on this. Okay.
Yeah. So,
I've seen this in ballistic gel testing with numerous people on YouTube when the velocities are too high.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the FUD education we need to talk about. I think there's some basics we need to break down about terminal ballistics. Essentially, you have different initiators, and then you have different bullet constructions. When it gets to copper monolithic bullets, which are a copper alloy, they generally are tougher. But for that toughness, you need more velocity for it to do the work.
You need to drive those suckers hard. Yep.
Yes. Because again, it's like the pear analogy. If you have a really soft pear and throw it against a brick wall, you don't need to throw it as hard to get the same splat.
I would just eat it.
What if it's really kind of like soggy and kind of gross?
I like soft pears.
Yeah, but is it a soggy and gross pear though?
Well, I mean, is it brown? If it's still white, I'm eating that shit.
Anyways, we're talking about bullets.
We should probably continue talking about.
Are we talking about the wrong thing? I'm sorry. Carry on.
Yes. So with monolithics, he's described bullets penciling through, but again, those were generally at further distances at which the velocity has dropped. So that's kind of thing I think.
Because then there's not enough energy to expand the bullet.
Not enough velocity.
Right, but I mean, velocity is a measure of energy, right? Like power.
No.
Mass times acceleration.
Energy. Kinetic energy is mass times velocity squared.
Yeah.
Right.
I know what you're saying, but you seem to have it backwards.
A component of velocity is a component of energy.
As velocity changes, energy will go up or down.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Correct. Yes.
So there's not enough energy to expand.
I thought he said it backwards.
Not enough velocity.
But the velocity is affecting the energy. So if there's not enough velocity, then there's not enough energy.
No, you actually have this confused here.
How do I have it confused?
So essentially, you have a single bullet construction. So say we have a 150 grain bullet. We both agree that if it's hitting the animal at 1,000 feet per second, it's not going to do as good of a job as if it's hitting at 3,000 feet per second.
Right, but that's got nothing to do with what I said.
No, so energy is a function of mass and velocity.
Yeah.
But a bullet's mass
product
stays the same. The only
I wasn't saying anything about the mass. I wasn't saying anything about the mass.
Yes. But you're talking about energy.
Yeah, as velocity decreases, energy will also decrease.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying all along.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying all along.
However, bullets function on velocity, not energy.
Terminal effect.
No.
That's not true. When the bullet strikes its target, the velocity and the mass of the bullet will create energy at the target. That's what I'm saying.
You don't create energy, you only transfer it.
Yeah,
you're arguing semantics that don't matter now.
No, it does matter.
That does not matter.
Energy
what matters
is irrelevant because the mass of the bullet does not change.
I've never said anything about mass. What I said was that when the velocity is too low, when the bullet hits the target, there is not enough energy to deform the bullet.
Hold on. Okay, Chris. energy is a product of mass.
You've
times
said that
velocity.
5 times, and I've already demonstrated that I knew that before you said it.
Yes, but you keep saying energy when it's
Sorry?
actually velocity.
Oh my, Derek, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Regroup there, Derek.
If velocity affects energy, then energy is affected by velocity. They're the same fucking. You're arguing semantics.
They are, but I'm more right than you are.
This is like arguing whether it's a magazine or a clip. And
Okay, explain
they're
this to me.
both different.
Explain it. I would
Yes.
like you to explain in your words
Mm-hmm.
why a bullet that is traveling at too low of a velocity will not expand. And try your best not to mention energy at all, because you told me that's wrong.
Yes. So let's put it this way. How slow can you throw a football and it to have it spiral?
Okay, you're going to have to explain the relevance of that question.
I see where he's going.
Yes.
Continue, Derek.
Yes,
Yeah,
Charlie.
I understand the rotational effect. I get that.
Yes.
But what's the relevance to what I was saying?
Okay. So
How is that explaining how a low velocity projectile didn't expand?
So essentially, it is designed with velocity in mind. So just like,
Yeah.
have you ever tried to ride a bike super slow?
No, I understand that, but that
Yes.
but that's not what we're talking about. I'm asking you to explain why a low velocity projectile doesn't expand on impacting the target.
That is a function of engineering. So essentially, material.
I know, but I'm
hardness.
asking you to explain it.
Okay. So going forward, so essentially, bullets are designed. Most bullets we use are jacketed or of a monolithic kind. So essentially, we have an external jacket with a lead core. So essentially, we need to upset that jacket back into the lead core, and then the jacket opens up, and then the core gets exposed, and we get that stereotypical mushroom-looking bullet.
Yes, and what is acting on the bullet to create that?
So
Target.
No, the target is not acting on the bullet.
So it is in his interaction of the medium, so the animal, and the bullet. So, which is comprised of mass and velocity,
Which equates to.
which equates to energy.
Thank you very much.
However, bullets
Lower
are designed,
velocity will result in lower transfer of energy, correct?
not
And if
necessarily-
that energy
yes,
is not enough to overcome the structural integrity of the bullet, then the bullet will not expand.
yes, and in
And
which
that
case
and what is not changing, the constant, is the mass of the bullet. What is changing to affect a higher energy on the structural integrity of the bullet or a lower energy on the structural integrity of the bullet is the velocity. Is that correct?
is the velocity and the medium and the interaction.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think at this point we can just say that Kurt agrees with me,
Given mass
and we'll move
Yes.
on.
in a given medium.
Yes. So we are
Because
essentially saying this.
the only variable here
Mhm.
is the velocity. The medium is the medium. The
Yes.
mass of the bullet is the mass of the bullet.
Yes.
All of the other
That's what I'm saying.
constants of physics that are acting upon it from when it leaves the muzzle to when it impacts the medium, all of those are constants. The
Yes.
variable
is velocity.
is the velocity.
Yes.
And so if
And
the
wind speed.
velocity is, you shut up. If the velocity is higher, if the velocity is high enough so as to create enough energy to overcome the structural integrity of the bullet, then the bullet will expand upon impacting the medium. If the velocity, which is the only variable here, is too low to create enough energy to overcome the structural integrity of the bullet, then the bullet will not expand.
What if you?
I
shot
just fucking
bullets
Neil deGrasse
with different
Tyson, you
velocities?
motherfuckers.
I
Okay.
wouldn't use Neil
In a
deGrasse Tyson
vacuum.
as an example.
In a
Okay.
vacuum.
Again, the mass is not changing.
No, Derek, I said multiple times
right.
that the mass is constant.
Yes, that therefore bringing up energy is redundant though, because we both understand that the mass is not changing.
No, but it's not, because velocity is not what makes the bullet expand. It is the interaction that the velocity is a part of the equation.
Yes,
But it is not velocity that makes a bullet expand.
it is construction and velocity and energy.
I think
very
we've
much.
we've
very
gotten the
much.
theory down.
Yes,
But
we've
we're now
gotten the
moving
theory
on to
down.
the actual
So,
practical.
just for the
Yes.
record, I've been continuing this for the last 5 minutes because I think that it makes entertaining show. But like otherwise, if we were just having this discussion around the campfire, I would have already said that we're all actually saying the same thing.
We are saying the same thing. We're disagreeing
What-
on the fact that
Oh, you fucking
Paper in
dare.
front of him. Derek is arguing it like the guy's looking at the pipe going, that ain't gonna fucking fit.
And I picked wrong.
We needed you to be sober for this because we knew you were going to have something to say about it.
To carry the two, and Derek's like wiggling the strap, saying, "She ain't going nowhere."
Yeah.
All bullets on energy, it's on velocity.
Yes,
Yes. Yeah. And
We-
also,
we-
I word of velocity in general because a video for 300 Blackout in Canada. With the 125 SST.
Mhm.
And I phoned Hornady on their tech line, and I'm like, okay, he's adding bullet function and construction. I phoned them as velocity for proper expansion. And if
Yeah,
you
they give
phone
you a
these
lawyer
bullet
response.
companies, Barnsberger, talk to them, they will put a window of operation for the different bullet designs and constructions
Yeah.
at which it is supposed to. It's huge when it comes to hunting knowledge is what is this bullet designed to do, and at what window is it going to work?
Oh, I completely agree with that. Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You and me are like fucking together now. We're like this now.
Yes.
It's not fucking sweet.
So that's,
I agree
that's
with you. It's very important to
Mhm.
like, especially with hunting, it's very important to understand what velocities
Mhm.
your bullet is designed to expand at.
Mhm.
I completely agree with you. And I just noticed what Scotty Chitchell said, which is hilarious. So I'm going to repeat it. If you crash your car at a wall at 5 miles an hour versus doing 50 miles an hour, it's clear how your car I just thought that was a funny analogy.
Scott, I'm not going to argue with Scotty there. He
Derek?
talked about the speed.
Yeah.
Listen,
Derek, I just have a one
That's
question
true, he
for
did.
you. When you called Hornady, did you get to talk to Seth Warzik?
I did not talk to
Yes.
not talk to Seth.
Whenever I
Hey.
call Horny Day, they charge me $4.95 a minute.
I think we're calling
Derek?
different phone numbers.
Yes.
We might be.
you want a real treat with your project there?
Mm-hmm.
These guys here,
30 cal 125s. Yeah.
Ooh,
TNT.
ENTs.
Hold on.
Mm.
spear.
That box.
I have. Hey,
How much is that box?
guy there
Mm.
is marketed as a varmint bullet.
Yeah.
I may have some experience shooting deer 6
Anything's a varmint bullet if you're
flawless
brave enough.
performance. For project, I would seriously consider that. The other, and lots of guys are going to go, oh my God, but that's a match bullet. 30 cal, 175 Match King.
Mm-hmm.
With proper use, deadly.
Hmm.
Deadly.
So this
and I know
gets
of one certain guy,
Mm-hmm.
he may or may not be in the chat, prefers, well, I shouldn't say prefers, but has some considerable experience with Cinars, another match bullet.
Is
Mhm.
this man from Deutschland and has no sense of humor?
He is not.
Oh,
He is
okay.
not.
That begs another question altogether, the old hunting with match bullets. So if you looked, Rooster just brought up on screen the classic Sierra 308 175 boat tail hollow point.
Mhm.
A classic 308 30-06. Now, hollow point match bullets are of a hollow point design, which essentially they form a cone at the end and have a small opening. Now, the debate has always been designed for proper expansion and because of that small hollow cavity. That has always been the debate.
Hmm.
Where it's designed for match bullets. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you think about things like the Match Kings, the 175s and the 190s
Mm-hmm.
were used for let's say, hunting of a different sort of application for decades.
Mm-hmm.
Do you suppose if they were ineffective that they would be employed with that
However,
particular game?
in one set of regulations, there's the provincial regulations, and the other set there's something called the Geneva Convention.
Which,
true.
to tie this back to history, was basically created because of what Canada did in World War One.
Because Canadians kept bayoneting Germans when they were
It wasn't-
disarmed.
And the Geneva Convention prohibits the use of expanding ammunition in war times.
Yeah.
But I
It's
think
more-
what
it's more like a-
Rooster's talking about though is that, or maybe you aren't, but maybe I'm just reading into this more than you were trying to. Absolutely. In fact, marketing in the gun industry, there is a lot of marketing, and I think that there, not especially, but I think that bullet construction is not excluded from the idea of executives at a company sitting around, executives at a company sitting around and saying, we need to come out with a new product this year. How are we going to do that? Well, we can take the match ELDX bullet, I think maybe the ELDM came out first. I'm not sure which, but so I'm not saying this is actually how it happened. But let's say the ELDM was created first. Well, the ELDM is a big seller, and we've even got a lot of people using the ELDM for hunting because, hey, practically speaking, it works just fine. So we're going to come up with the ELDX bullet, and we're going to use highly precise measuring instruments so that we can measure a difference in the expansion of the bullet that has zero practical real world application. But because we can measure it on these highly precise and sensitive machines, we're going to market it specifically as a hunting bullet, whereas the ELDM is a match bullet. Where the reality is, Chris can interchange between ELDMs and ELDXs all day, all year, every year, depending on the availability of the X or the availability of the M that particular year, and have the exact same result with a well-placed shot on his deer.
And Chris will load the 180s up in his 308 with 45 grains of Varget, and all good.
Actually,
same charge I use with my 168s.
Actually, I loaded the 178s with 45 grains of Varget, and then I loaded the 200s.
Oh, even better.
But I did not load it with 45 grains of Varget. I loaded it with 42.5 grains of Varget. And that was still too much. That was still too much. And I was separating case heads. So I lowered it to 40 grains of Varget, and it works like a hot damn. And I'm hunting with it again this year.
Should we come up with
I'm not taking shit from Chris after he just said about his reloading skills. It's Chris's scientific ability. I'm really
he knows velocity.
I have very few reloading skills, but you know what I do have? Balls. And I tested that load.
There is a fine line between balls and intelligence.
That is 100%
balls
true.
of steel.
I'm so glad you found that.
I had balls that I went right for the meat.
And I've done it for my 300 black bullets, and I've cut them in half to actually look at
Samurai sword when somebody was shooting at me too. Big deal.
tricks, Chris.
I'm literally just. I'm sorry. Carry on.
I know, but I've actually done it to look for these features, like you said about marketing, because there are hunting bullets out there that are specifically designed to expand, and there's features that just naturally work for expansion. So I have chopped a few bullets and had a look at them. Like I wanted to see an interlock ring. I'll tell you what, in the SSTs, I could see it mildly there.
What did Kurt just yell off camera?
I'm not sure what he did.
I'm pretty
You ever
sure
see
he
that?
just went gay.
You ever see that Ken Jeong community scene where he goes, "Hey?" Yeah, I think that's just what he said.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, carry on, Derek. Derek, you're
Anyway.
taking so much shit from us that is so undeserved right now.
That's okay. I put up you guys for some reason. I'm not sure
Okay.
why.
Well, I appreciate that. By the way, your microphone is amazing. I like that you replaced the Samsung. It looks great.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
carry on.
Anyways, so I have actually, in curiosity, cut bullets in half to have a look at the construction and get a better understanding of how they work. Because that's just how I roll. I'm a mechanic. I take shit apart all day, have a look, see how it works to separate fact from myth. I have not done it with the ELDM and the ELD mesh. However, since you brought that up, I'm going to cut them in half. And next episode,
That would be interesting.
we'll
I would
have
love
look.
to see that. You should do
Yes.
it on, like, make a video of it because I would love to watch that.
Yeah. So
Because
Whole collection.
it makes me wonder if there is a real visible difference between them. I do think that the polymer tip is just a slightly wider diameter on the X than on the M. But I mean, as a sample of one,
yep.
first of all, I can't confirm that. Second of all, I have never had a deer take a single step with either an X or an M. And maybe it's just because I'm a fucking savant with a gun. I mean,
Fucking
we all know this.
Yeah. That's why Chris shoots a lot of PRS.
Yeah.
Chris shot this deer at 800.
That's why he
yards, I
doesn't
swear.
shoot PRS, is because he doesn't want to make everybody look bad.
I've actually never taken a shot over 175 meters because it's a forested area. So like maybe at that distance it wouldn't matter. Maybe at 800 yards an X and an M would have a practical difference. But you know, I'm just a sample of one and it's completely anecdotal. And what I can tell you is that my velocities are perfect.
Yeah. Scotty chiming in. He says he's agreeing with Chris here. He's killed deer with both. No difference on
Your velocities.
I think we need to go buy some ballistics gel.
Guys, we need to find somebody who makes ballistics gel because we can make it.
I have a contact.
Because it's expensive, isn't it?
Do you guys know what head cheese is?
Yes, I know what head cheese
Or
is.
Studenats in Ukrainian is?
You think that would make a good ballistics gel?
We are
It's
not
got-
wasting good stewed nuts on that.
We can eat it after, okay, guys?
Okay, yeah.
But
call it cholesterol and we'll call it a day.
I'm not going to comment.
Okay.
However, my guess is there's going to be two differences.
Yeah.
There's going to be a small void in the ELDM, the EL to help better initiate expansion, and the jacket is probably going to be thinner on the match.
I feel like
But
there's
we'll
a small
find out
void
next
in my
week.
life right
Yeah, I'm interested to know actually.
I have some ELD M and X's, Derek. At
Yeah,
the house.
I have some too. So,
Oh, okay.
anyways, that's what I wanted to say.
Back when I was a machinist still, I sectioned a whole bunch of bullets. Like I just milled them in half and lengthways, and just to see what the jackets were actually like. And somebody brought up the Hornady interlocks. And while I was looking for these things, God only knows where I have them now, but this was 20 some years ago. But the Hornady interlock, and one of their selling features is that little sliver of copper inside the jacket wedges the core, the lead core in there. That is craziness. Absolute craziness.
Meaning that it doesn't, or that it doesn't have a practical difference?
There's no practical difference. Anything that I've shot, and I've shot a lot of stuff with SSTs, mostly some with the old interlocks, but their performances varied. I remember one white-tailed deer, about 90 yards, came out of a bluff, face straight on, and I hit him right here, right through that breastbone there. And the bullet only went this much further into him, sort of thing, but he dropped and never breathed another breath. I shot another one, and that was a 165, 150 or 165 SST out of a 30-06. Same gun, same load. I shot
Fudd.
another one at 274 yards. And I remember weighing it, and I can't remember the actual weight, but I calculated it at 74% of its original weight was still in the bullet. It went through them and stayed inside the hide on the other side. Wonderful bullet as far as I'm concerned, if you know where to shoot them, I guess. Like the 125 TNT, I've seen several whitetail deer go down with those things, and one of them, full running shot, a buddy of mine, at about 2.25, went between two ribs on the near side, took out a rib on the far side, and again laid inside the hide on the far side, and just lights out instantly. Bullet construction is a big deal. One other thing that I want to bring up that I don't everybody that has a complaint or what do you say, a cartridge, mention the type of bullet that was used. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it is 6.5 in the case of your example that you showed. The 6.5 Creedmoor was too fast. Well, I remember back. Well, I mean, it started along as a barrel burner and all this kind of stuff. Equally as bad, but it never got that bad rap. Just
6.5 by 55. Can I use lower?
A rifle, and they just heard that nothing other than what they read in a gun rag or whatever, and they buy a box of ammunition. Example of the wild arrays that you can get for both of those cars. So it's interesting to me. Pardon? What the hell just happened to your voice there, creepy guy?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I am. Oh shit! I am playing with something. Sorry, I turned. There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah, put your blue screen up.
Sorry, I was fucking around with the voice changing app.
Barry White just joined us.
Is that what I sounded like? Was Barry White?
Not quite, but
I want to bring up A.B. Rob's comment here. This is an interesting one. So I had a full jacket and core separation on a 180 ELDM after it passed through 3 feet of deer. And then I assume he follows up with 1,488 feet per second impact velocity.
Allegedly.
So, again, he referred velocity, not energy.
Yeah,
but
so
that's also another bullet failure is cup and core separation, but it's actually interesting that it happened at that low of impact velocity. However, sometimes you can just get a shitty batch of bullets, and you got buddy on the press that day that had one too many Miller lights the night before in buddy's garage and wasn't quite paying attention, and unfortunately you get a shit batch.
Well, and I will admit that that's the problem with being able to do testing and, the sample of one that I was talking about earlier. The constants are not constant.
Yeah. Even on the game, like what if you just misses that rib by an inch?
Yeah.
That's
what if
a whole
your deer is just fucking
sometimes.
jacked and his muscle is more dense than
true?
Or well, like realistically, 30-06, 2 inches high at 100. I'm like, but why? They don't know.
Yeah, people do all kinds of things that they don't. They read it, or they did it that way, and they had their hat on at the right angle, and it happened to perform with a good 3-shot group one time. And by the way, look at Alberta Rob talking about it. Look at that. That's the right amount of energy to completely strip the jacket off an ELDM, just so you know.
Done the science.
I've done the science on that is as solid as fucking climate change. It's settled.
So all it's up for grabs. Challenge since all 4 of us are here.
Boone also chimes in, bullets built for a specific purpose and speed will do weird things once in a while at those perfect conditions.
Sure,
100%.
because even the things that we consider constants are.
I think we should.
Well, how many guys or how many stories have you heard about somebody shooting a? It's typically a broadside shot in the far right hip or something. Yeah, and they can do one. True. I shot a coyote one time with those same 125 TNTs. Eat a guts.
Didn't they find the bullet that killed JFK in his leg or something?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
I don't know.
There's like
In
some
his leg?
You've never heard of the
after
magic bullet? Not the
right, but that's not what
It was
they
the
found.
driver
Small
that
blender,
turned
big
around
fan.
and shot him like that.
Magic bullet is that the bullet.
Then struck Connolly, injuring him in several places.
Yeah.
This theory was introduced by the Warren Commission.
It's the Hornady ping pong X.
Yeah.
No.
That's right. They
Italian special.
They did find a bullet on the gurney that the Governor Connolly was carried, but that's where the magic bullet theory came from, because it was a perfectly pristine looking bullet.
Mm.
See, if I'm a marketing manager, I'm like, the 6.5 Carcano was not a magic cartridge.
Yeah. Yeah, it was magic that it didn't blow up in his face when he shot it.
Well, the real magic was it didn't switch sides.
I thought that
however,
you guys realized
that
that all of the redacted files were originally supposed to be released in was it 23 or 2020 or so, and then Trump resealed them.
I thought he was going to be like, frankly, folks, we're letting them all out. There's some great files in there.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 2023 because there was 3 he was shot, and he was shot in 63.
I don't know how true this is. So there are people that were involved in that are still because they would be involved, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what Trump said when he didn't release all the files. Well, no, he wasn't president in 23.
I'm pretty sure they're all dead. That's why they're holding for
75 years.
Yeah. Any sort of challenge, and then we should probably wrap up.
If this would be a thing that we would be interested in entertaining, is that since we've talked about, Fudds not knowing things and ballistics, what if we each went out for hunting season? We'll go out now, start our load development. We'll use components that we've never used before or would never normally use. Like, say you're a solid cup and core guy.
I think we should caveat that in bullet choice, not changing primers.
Oh no, it's not like I went from a 209 to a 9.5 Remington or whatever.
Yes. Let's
different
caveat
powder, different bullet, heavier bullet, lighter bullet.
Have to change the bullet.
You have to change the bullet, at least, at a minimum.
Yeah.
And see what we can come up with. Like say, Derek, you've never shot a TTSX. You're going to go all copper this year. We'll try that.
Mm.
And I want to put it out
put
it out to the listeners. That
Okay,
they also,
here's mine.
Oh, no.
Here's mine.
We're going to go make it. And then in, say, about October-ish, we're going to compare results of what we come up with.
Yeah, but I can already say what mine is. So I have to change something. So it's going to be a 200 grain ELDX with 40 grains of BLC2 in a SIG case instead of a Winchester.
Bad idea.
I don't want to. Yeah, SIG might backfire on you.
It's done. It's already done.
It's already done? Okay.
The decision's been made.
Okay, that's what you're going to do. That's fine. But what we're going to need to see is a 200-yard group of that compared to what your normal go-to loading would be.
Okay.
Aye.
So I need to do a 200-yard group with 40 grains of BLC2 compared to a 200-yard group with 40 grains of Varget.
And
you have to change the bullet.
Come on.
Changing the bullet is a key component.
It's mandatory.
They cost so much.
This is about going
it's tough for me.
outside.
I'm not sure what I haven't tested.
This is
just testing your own rooster.
I'll bet you haven't tried a 200. Yeah. You haven't tested a 200 grain bullet in a 308 there, Kurt.
No, because that's fucking stupid.
But not just us will try this challenge.
I don't disagree.
We will extend it to the viewers, and they can submit this is my new loading challenge. at the info@bs.ca podcast. And we can see like who went out all the way, did it work? We don't care if it's a good group. But like, I tried it. This is the shittiest thing I've ever done. Never doing it again. That is also good.
I'm going to do a subsonic 308 with a 220 grain ELDX.
I'd love to see it.
There's
Let's
nothing
make it a
special
challenge.
about that. That's
Because there was,
totally
there was the
I know
blackjack
this.
challenge
Barrel,
was a
though.
thing.
Yeah, well, the one with a 1 in 10, we'll see if it works.
Let's get our own challenge going.
I am going to
I have
try
to tell you
to
right
figure
now.
out a way to fire chocolate coated cucumbers at high velocity or horse turds. I haven't tried those. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try and track down a blunderbuss and fire nails out of it. Now it'll be anybody's guess. Roofing nails, finishing nails. I don't know.
Go
Squirrel hunt with that sucker.
I don't know. We could try it, see how it happens. We come back, compare our results.
Maybe I'll see if I can. Do they make? Does Hornady sell the Lever Evolution FTX just as a component?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they do.
So maybe I'll just do that.
See, the gears are turning.
Because I gotta take this puppy out hunting sometime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's create a reloading challenge.
I don't know about 200 yards though.
Well, because people are going to say like, "Oh, look at my 100-yard group." I'm like, "That's only 100. Let's see 200."
Yeah,
You're
with a
assuming
handgun
it
cartridge.
at 200 yards, Mike.
Man, we are hitting 300 with a 22. You can hit 200 with a center fire cartridge.
Yes, I can. I'm joking.
I'm just saying. But like the listeners should also jump in on this. I'm like, I've never done this. Here's my submission. Here you go. Fencing staples.
Scotty Chitchell.
I love it.
300 blackout with a 250 A-tip. If you want to send me the A-tip, I have the 300 blackout, so I'll do that for you.
Put a
Just make sure to
$3.5
send at least
bullet
200.
into a.
Kurt, it's not about the destination, it's the journey.
All right. Jeez.
Agree to disagree.
I didn't say it because it was true. I said it because it's very kitschy.
Velocity. Energy. You know what? Someone's gonna do an AI video of you and me fighting. Velocity, energy, velocity, energy.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. Hey, should we wrap this up, guys? It's like 2 fucking hours here.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I guess we can.
Thanks for taking up 45 minutes with your fucking stupid argument.
Hey.
It's only stupid because we were essentially saying the same thing all along.
Thanks for the nap, though.
You're welcome.
However, just like AB Rob chimes in, when he talks about what impact happened at velocity, he's talking about velocity.
Sorry,
Let it go,
I'm just,
Pepsi.
There he is talking about energy right there.
No, he purposely put velocity up first because it's important.
I like how Alberta Rob has become like the stepchild that me and Derek are fighting over. All right. Well, at this point, guys, if you're still with us, make sure you give the likes and the subscribes and the whole 9 yards. You can check out the show at facebook.com/BS podcast and leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. If you like our content, you can leave a like on all our pages and you can share everything. Please share our videos. We need them shared. Also, email us any questions, comments, concerns that you might have. You can talk to us about velocity or energy or anything you want to. We'd love to hear from you. It's info@bspodcast.ca. Our website is also bspodcast.ca. You can find old videos on there and all kinds of different things. As usual, a massive thank you to all of our sponsors. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show in the first place. We're talking about Shane and Steve, Miles, Carrie and Cappy, Duncan and Rob, Phil Odell, Doug and Nisa, Vanya and Carly, Oscar, JR and JR. Thank you all, an immeasurable amount. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. We already said that. Sign the petition. 1AB says to help preserve our community and save the Penticton Shooting Sports Association. Please also share that. Rob says, what about the rifle draw? We talked about it at the beginning of the show. Buy tickets. You're about halfway sold out on tickets there, Kurt?
Something like that. There it is. Without the
There's
stock.
the barreled action there.
Trigger's back on though.
Trigger's back on. That's good news. And you can get your tickets.
Productive while you guys were arguing.
Yeah, it's still going on, is what we're trying to say. Join us. I think next week we're on, right? Do we have a guest, or is we got to plan more just the four of us? I think these are great episodes with just the four of us.
Either I'll talk to Cappy again, see if he wants to come on. If he's available, he definitely wants to come on. Talk about his post CPS days now, and
cool.
Also Rob Frericks. Get that sucker back on here again.
Also,
look at
we'll
he's got methylene blue.
What is that?
No.
Gun cleaner and lubricant. Right, Boar products. There you go. When only the best will do.
First off, this stuff is amazing. It smells like lemons. So it's like, I'm sorry, hops, you have been dethroned. This stuff smells fantastic. So we got some of this to play around with and test, and hopefully we will have more products on the show to talk about it more. But we are testing it right now.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Also got a few other irons in the fire with some messages going back and forth. So
cool.
Once they're confirmed, we should have a few more here.
So the point being, make sure you tune in next week and share the show around, because you know it helps.
Every little bit helps.
What's your voice right now?
What do you mean?
It just sounds defeated. Did Derek get the best of you?
He knows he's wrong.
You know, I have been holding back my tears for the last hour, and you are bringing me right to the brink, Kurt.
Hey, you know what? It's because I know you so well.
There's fucking dust in my eye. All right, everybody. We'll see you all next week.
Because I have a shotgun and rifle that I use for, and 22 gauge that I use for ptarmigan, moose, and black bear.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You're listening to your weekly dose of BS, ballistically speaking. The Ballistically Speaking Podcast.